There we go. Fancy.
Fancy schmancy.
What do you think of the lighting?
Yeah, we just upgraded a little bit. Got a halo light, and some better mic, and we're rolling.
And a little Bluetooth clicker.
Yeah.
So fancy.
Hormetic Monks. Added again with our fourth now? No, fifth actually. Yeah, we did two parts for you.
Yeah.
One part for me, and then the intro.
I'm sure you're tired of hearing about.
Oh, I'm so glad that we're not talking just exclusively about your childhood trauma.
Yeah, glad that's over with. The main reason why I did talked about it, not necessarily because I wanted to, it's just sometimes I don't know. I've had a lot of I've learned a lot from listening to other people's lives and biographies and stuff. So
right.
Hopefully it helps. If not, oh well.
Right. Well, no, and it's good to have the audience get to know you a little bit more, on a personal level, and kind of see where you came from, and where you're at now. So it's good.
Yeah, I like. I heard. Well, I didn't hear this quote. I kind of made this quote. Most people put one video game in for life, and that's the only game they play. Right. How would you like to put in one video game and that's all you ever do? Right. I understand jack of all trades, master of none, but I actually disagree with that. Okay. Be good at whatever you do your best and be good at that. Sure. And it can cross-pollinate into other areas. Sure. I'm better in certain things, even with the previous companies that I've worked at with my work ethic. I usually outperform most people. Sure. And that's because, first of all, it's work ethic. I learned that from my family. Yep. That was instilled in me. Do a good job. Yep. My uncle, who passed away, had a really big impact on my life. And did I mention this I think I might have mentioned on the podcast. But oh no. The kid's playing with the microphone. It looks like a cat toy. You guys might hear a little bop, bop, bop. Awesome. We have a cat here, and the cat just bopped the mic. So, he's coming back for round two. Get out here and hear me sing. So if you hear a little sound, we have a cute orange cat named Mr. Weasley that's been hanging out, and I get it though. The mic looks like. If I was a cat, I'd play with it. But anyways, I think I might have mentioned it, but he had me clean out his pole barn, and he's like, if you don't do a good job with this, it needs to be really, really well done and spotless. Right. If you don't do this, then you can't work for me. Right. And that thing was spotless. It really taught me work ethic, and my dad he instilled that into us. We had a massive landscape when I was a kid, and we'd be spreading mulch in the summertime, mowing the lawns. When I was 13 to 15, I was longer than that. As long as I was in high school, I was mowing 15 acres of lawn a week. Right. Yeah, it's a lot of work. Yeah, it's definitely good. I think having a good family work ethic, that kind of through osmosis gets into you when you're younger, and that's definitely a boon going forward. Because even though it's good to work smart, it's you do have to put in hard work a lot of times too. So yeah. Well, I kind of sidetracked off of that, the work ethic. Yes, you got work ethic. But when you go to do cross-pollination, the reason why I'm talking about this is because I know a lot of people that are miserable with what they're doing, and they're too afraid to go out and do something else. And I used to think, well, I just need to stick with something. I need to stick with it. Well, yeah, there's something where it's just giving up. Yeah. But there's no reason to be a martyr and be able to complain, oh, my job sucks and everything like that, but you're not willing to change. It's really your own fault. Yeah. If you don't like where you're at, it sucks the longer you stay there, because then you get those pay raises and all that, even though like a lot of companies are like they'll just give you pay raises for how like the duration you've stayed.
Right, every year they might bump you up a little bit just based on your tenure there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Try new things. Get like one thing I've really enjoyed is like getting certifications and stuff. That the feeling of accomplishment. Mm-hmm. And like after you do it a certain amount of time, you actually like learn faster. Like trucking school is honestly a breeze. Like I had fun. Like because I've done so many different like certification like licenses and stuff like that. So
no, it is. I mean that's the thing is like, you know, with schools in particular, whether it's, you know, a trade school or college, it's like whenever that feeling of you know, learning and working towards a goal, and then you finally get that test result back, mm-hmm. and you passed, or you know, you got a high score. Like that's just always going to be a really good feeling. It's good stuff. But.
And I didn't necessarily do the best in school. Like I did go to college and I got like good grades at the beginning. Yeah. But once it started compounding, I wasn't studying enough. Yeah. And like I ended up failing like most of my classes because of like there's other like relationship stuff going on. But
sure.
So that felt terrible. But and then to go from that to like getting certifications, like if you get enough certifications in the workforce, like you're instantly more valuable. Like I got my OSHA 12 mm-hmm. or 20. Yeah, is it OSHA? Yeah, OSHA 12. Sure. Yeah.
Makes me think of Ocean's 12. The movie.
Yeah, because I just got my OSHA 30, and but I got the first OSHA whatever. I paid for it myself, and just because I had that, like, I was put in a management position because I initiated it. If you want to rise up and like in companies and they want you to have certifications, or you want to go to another company, get those certifications like yourself, because it'll pay dividends. Like it's crazy. You can make $1 or $2 or even more than that an hour just by having your like OSHA 12, OSHA 30, and like CPR certified. Get that.
I have that, but it's expired.
Oh yeah.
I never kept up on it, but that's okay. I don't feel like I really need it. I mean, it is nice to have, but Anyway, so how's things been for you lately?
Dude, I've been on vacation.
Yeah, chilling.
Yeah, bracing myself for the work or getting back into the game.
Yeah.
I mean, I was before I went to school, but I don't know it's gonna be a long time before I have another vacation. So. Yeah. And
I don't think we updated our audience. So you just graduated trucking school,
mm-hmm.
right? So and what was that? That was what last week? Thursday or no week before?
Yeah, week before. It was like.
That's right, because we actually not last week but the week before. Thursday.
Yeah,
Thursday. So he took his test and passed, and now he has his CDLA, so he's ready to join the brotherhood of the truckers, and looking for a job right now. So if you guys know of any decently high-paying trucking jobs that you want to refer him to, he's looking. He's trying to figure out what he wants to go into, whether that's team trucking or if it's roll off or if it's car hauling. I know with
heavy equipment,
transporting flatbed. I know a lot of the companies are looking for 3 to 6 months of experience. A lot of them 6 months of experience, but he's had a lot of experience with heavy equipment, loading and unloading heavy equipment. So if you have a company that does that, he probably doesn't need the 3 to 6 months driving experience, because he already has all that in regards to driving big heavy equipment around. So
I've driven a lot of big vehicles in the past, so it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah,
I have it's not that much, but I have like a month or two hauling horizontal directional drills for like fiber and electric and all that. Did that which, I mean, those things are heavy, so you gotta, I think that counts towards something.
It's gotta count for something, right?
It's got water on it.
And he's CPR certified,
yeah,
so what now?
Yeah, OQ training. I actually just used ChatGPT to update my resume. It's pretty sweet, like literally seconds. Would have taken me like probably 2 hours.
Yep. Technology, using it appropriately.
Yeah.
You know, I guess what Google and all them would be very happy and proud of you.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, yes, another user.
Yeah.
But yeah, so what's your kind of we're he's doing that, and I've been just trucking, listening to things, and trying to keep my head on a swivel as far as just the economic landscape right now. What we're in, and looking at housing and interest rates and.
Put that right on. Accept me. Press pause.
Okay. Yeah, we got with our new equipment. We got a key fob.
Mm-hmm.
Or not a key fob, but we got a fob
like one.
that connects via Bluetooth to the phone, so we can start and stop.
You don't have to get up and personal with our face at the end of the video.
Yeah, you don't have to look up our nostrils right at the very end.
And I'm like a moron with technology right now, and I need to work on those skills.
Yeah.
So I don't like Microsoft, I don't like Microsoft. Windows 11.
We were just at Best Buy, and he's going on this tirade about how Apple's way better.
It's just simple unless you're like really nerdy. Not really nerdy. It's just overly complicated things. Like, it doesn't need to be that complicated. It is nice if you do know a lot about, like, a decent amount about computers.
Right.
You can customize everything.
Right. Which is what I like.
Yeah. I like it too, but there's a lot of things that it doesn't allow you to do now. So there's a lot of roadblocks and paywalls and stuff that you have. I'd rather go with like Apple, to where you just pay once for a lot of the products. And like, yeah, it's
what about all the apps on the App Store?
Well, those are on the platform. They're not Apple. They just are able to run off of the platform.
Right. Yeah. I'm a little bit of a... No, I'm not anti-Apple, but...
I mean, their iCloud
I'm probably a little bit on the other end of the spectrum, but...
Their iCloud is Apple, and that's actually relatively inexpensive.
iCloud?
Yeah. I think I pay like $3 a month or something.
For storage?
For storage, yeah.
I just go to Google Drive, it's free. So.
Yeah. It's not secure.
Do we know this? Is this a fact?
Well, it is getting to a point where Apple is getting less and less secure as more people learn the platform. But it's still way more, from what I understand, it's still way more secure than Windows. You gotta have those stupid antivirus that slows down your computers.
I never use antivirus software.
Well, it's already on your computer. Try to get rid of it.
I can disable it. You can't uninstall it, a lot of them, but I can disable it to where it doesn't run in the background.
Yeah, I need to do that.
Yeah, but
it's stupid.
I have a weird. It's probably founded in zero facts, but I have a weird theory that like a lot of the viruses and Trojan horses are made to attract and shoot antivirus software, and they know how to undermine it. So then, and they're always going, okay, this antivirus software came out in 2024. We're going to now update our viruses to go and seek that out and undermine it because we know how to deal with that. So I don't know, and it's expensive.
Yep, the antivirus is really dumb. It's a scam.
Yeah.
It's like, in my opinion, it's a complete scam because you're trying to protect your computer from viruses that slow down your computer or disable your computer.
Yeah.
And the antivirus literally slows down your computer.
Like, that being said, we're not techie really at all. So
no, it's serious. Every computer that I've had, antivirus is a virus.
Yeah, it does take up a significant amount of the processing power of the computer, but anyway, so let's see.
Oh yeah, on Tuesday, I won't technically be 1 month alcohol free because I accidentally bought alcoholic beer and I had no idea. And I just checked because I was right. I went to the same spot where I got that beer. Yeah. It's right next to O'Doul's, non-alcoholic. Yeah. They have the same beer that's non-alcoholic. Whoever stocked it put alcoholic beer right there. And this, like the other day.
Were you drunk when you purchased it?
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, it was non-alcoholic beer when I went there last. And if it was, if I would have, I had no idea. My brother actually told me. But, it lasted me 3 days. Do you know the last time a 6-pack lasted me 3 days? Never.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Never. So it's
never in the history of drinking.
I had no idea, and I didn't feel anything. So yeah. I don't care. So it's yeah. It's the longest I've been in a couple years.
Yeah.
So pretty cool.
That was cool. It was very good.
Feel a little bit clear.
Yeah. A little bit more mental clarity and
feel better when I wake up in the morning.
Yeah. Not any manifestations of the slight hangover.
Yeah, it's mainly brain fog, less brain fog.
Yeah.
Which is a big deal. And I've started taking lion's mane powder and then this other product. It's from Paul Statman. I get it on Amazon. It's called the Sacred 7. It's 7 different mushrooms: chaga, lion's mane, reishi, turkey tail, cordyceps, and 2 more. Okay. I can't remember, but it's really good. I everyone else. I got the flu actually last week. It lasted about a couple hours. It was horrible, but the other my whole family the shortest was 2 days. Everyone else was longer. So, nice. And the reason why I got sick is because I was staying up late playing video games.
Fair. Which you're right now you're taking on the path of the Elden Ring.
Yes, Elden Ring. Yes. It's addicting.
The sacred path. Yeah. He's taking the sacred 7 mushrooms and playing Elden Ring. The sacred Elden Ring.
Slaughtering demons.
Those demons need slaughtered.
Yes. Yeah, it's a pretty fun game, but yeah. Don't recommend it for children.
Your discretion is advised. Yeah.
Yeah, if any of you play Elden Ring, hit me up.
You're help me fight
I'm looking for friends.
The demon lords in Elden Ring.
Yeah.
Nice. And he's a PS5 guy?
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's not cross-platform. Really bummed out because then we could play.
Right. I'm an Xbox guy, so.
So how was driving yesterday?
It was fun. I mean, we got hit with quite the winter storm, coming from the west, coming across east going north, and I think Milwaukee got 10 inches, I want to say, and Chicago, I think it was around 3 inches, and probably a lot more at this point. And Grand Rapids, where we're at now, is we got probably 1.5 feet.
Yeah, something
like that.
We got more, but the first day, which was Friday, started snowing really bad. It was all wet and then it melted.
Yeah.
Down.
Yeah.
So I think we got about 18 to 2 feet. 18 inches, 2 feet.
Yeah, it's probably pushed it down a little bit.
But I know because I took the snow off my car twice. 6 inches each time. Yeah. And
which we've been needing it, honestly. I mean, needing it. I don't know about needing it, but
snowboarding.
Snowboarding. It's good for snowboarding.
Yeah.
But it is kind of strange to think that I just feel like Michigan winters have been a lot more mild.
Yeah. Last year, I think there was only 2 days where you could go ice fishing. Which sucks.
Yeah.
It's the one thing. Snowboarding.
One thing about winter that
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was trucking in the snow and ice is rough.
Dude, I was it would suck to be out there right now.
Yeah.
And you saw 10 semi trucks wrecked?
Yeah. probably around there. I mean, I counted at least 6, but I probably saw more. I definitely saw more cars in the ditch than semi trucks. But you know, the semi trucks are the ones I paid attention because I'm like, oh, there's a brother.
There's a brother.
He's out there. I saw a.
That's a nightmare.
Saw a doubles XPO Logistics, or XPO Transport off in the ditch. Yeah, jackknife.
Jeez.
You know, so off of 80.
So that's braking too hard, and the trailer starting or just going off the road and jackknifing.
It could be
braking, and the semi truck being heavily loaded slides faster than the truck is.
Right, and then it kind of crumples all together. Yeah,
that's why don't go too fast, guys.
Yeah, don't go too fast, and then, you know, it also could be he was in the far right lane. So like I was telling you the other day, is like a lot of times I like to ride in the wintertime. I like to ride. I'm not like a super experienced driver over here, but got about 1 year underneath my belt, and I like to ride in the one lane over from the right, so not the far right lane, because a lot of the slush and snow that may not have been picked up by the plow trucks gets left there, or maybe there's drifting, and then all of a sudden you're driving along and it'll literally pull the front of your tractor over very quickly. And if you combine that with ice, you have literally no.
You're riding on the center line, or you're in the left lane.
So if there's a 3 or 4 lane highway or freeway, I'm one over from the very far right lane. So that way, you know, if something does happen, I don't immediately just go into the ditch. And I think that might have been what happened to the XPO guy. But who knows? Who knows what exactly happened? But yeah, doubles. I've never driven doubles. It'd be interesting.
Oh, that's even more messed up.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't think it'd be too bad. From what I know with doubles is most of the time when they go from point A to point B, they're not going to be going through a lot of you're not going to have deliveries of doubles in inner Chicago.
No.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like.
But if you make a mistake and you have to back up, if you want to back the trailer up left, you gotta. Yeah, you back up. You turn your wheel to the left, because it's.
If you
I can do it. I know how to.
It's more of a feel thing, even for me. But yeah,
if I was doing it, I could do it. But like trying to say it.
Yeah, if you're trying to have your back end pivot towards the left, I mean, it depends on how you're looking at it. But as you're looking at it in the mirror, if you're having it to where you're trying to have your trailer go to the left, you go to the left.
Yeah.
Because it brings your tractor this way, and that allows the trailer to actually shift that way. But yeah, so, but yeah, it was interesting, and then I ended up having to drive. Storm hit us Saturday, or no, let's see here. Yeah, it hit us Friday and then Saturday. Or actually, I think it was mostly Saturday, but then it hit us again Sunday. We got another dump on Sunday. So I was driving on Saturday. Luckily, I didn't have to drive on Sunday.
Yeah, that sucked.
Yeah. So, but yeah.
Today it's honestly been snowing worse than yesterday.
Yeah, it has.
Those were pretty fun.
And it's funny because I think the weather was acting like it was going to hit harder on Saturday, but it actually, in Grand Rapids, it hit us at least harder on Sunday. So, especially Saturday night and then into Sunday. So.
I didn't see any 40-mile-an-hour winds though.
No, and I didn't even. I have a app on my phone that tells me the wind speed in my location, and I didn't even pull it up because I wasn't worried about it.
Yeah.
Like most of the time, if it gets fierce enough, my whole truck starts shifting over a bunch because I'm driving, and so it hits that side of the van, and so then I pull up the app that tells me wind speed, and I'll go from there. But I didn't even have to pull up the app because I felt very comfortable.
What you know what the wind speed is to tip over?
Yeah, I mean, 40 miles an hour, you want to start paying attention. And that's the point at which, and this is just me personally. Maybe there's a better specific definition, but I'm not worried about really any wind speed under 40. But once it gets 40 and above, that's when I start. I've driven in 45 mile an hour winds, but you know, it depends obviously on where you're driving. Because if you're driving, you know, in the middle of, you know, I don't know, in Indiana or something, there's farms on either side, there's fields on either side. Yeah. The wind can just pick up and just keep going and just hit you broadside. But if you're in Chicago, or if you're you know, where there's a lot of trees, it's gonna break a lot of that, so it's not a big of a deal. But
so the faster you go, the more likely it is for the truck to be blown over at 40 miles per hour.
Yeah, and
that's kind of interesting. I wonder the physics on that, because you're going like your speed.
Right.
Huh.
Well, I'm not even 100% sure on that. I believe that's true.
It would have to. I don't know why, but I feel like for some reason.
It feels intuitive that it would.
Yeah.
But even outside of that, I think that even more importantly than that, even if it doesn't tip you over, if it shoves you hard enough and you're going fast, you're gonna have a lot harder time controlling it. Yeah. You know.
Well, I mean, you think if you do a mental experiment, like you got a truck or trailer that's just sitting there, and 60 mile an hour wind hits it, it's not going to push it over. But if it's on the...
No, it would.
If it's stationary?
Yeah, 60 miles an hour, it definitely can push over a stationary van. Just hitting it broadside.
40 wouldn't.
40 probably wouldn't, because I've driven in 40. Yeah. But
I don't know.
It all depends also on the gust, so it's not
I don't think 60 would do it. Oh, yeah. Oh, I don't have my phone.
You can't even look it up. But no, 60 definitely would. 60's, dude, how many times do we get 60 mile an hour winds? Not very often.
In like North Dakota, they get it all the time. They get like 70 mile an hour winds.
Sure, and that's going to push over a van.
Stationary.
So
they would have the whole state. I don't know.
Well, also it all depends on what's around too. Like if you have buildings and stuff and trees, like I was saying, to block the wind and filter it, you're not going to have. And it's not a guarantee. Nothing's a guarantee. It's just it could.
I'm just curious.
Yeah. No, there's been lots of dry vans to where the whole lot, like multiple dry vans, are just pushed over all at once. They're just stationary. Yeah. Huh. Yeah. I mean, I personally haven't seen it, but in truck driving school they talked about it when I went through.
I don't remember hearing that at all in truck driving school.
Yeah, well, you should have gone to a better truck driving school.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the first video I decided not to recommend them, not because I had a great time, but it's a newer branch. It's fun, but I didn't feel like, I mean, for one, like they say, like, did you get your permit while you were in the school, or did you get it before?
No, I got it prior to.
Yeah. If you go to trucking school, make sure you get your permit before, because you will not have.
You won't be able to drive. You won't even be able to drive without a permit.
Yeah, but they have class time, the week class time. Yeah. I thought, like, they don't mention it anywhere where you need a permit. Like the person that I had that signed me up, like, make sure you have your permit and stuff. Yeah. But I thought it wouldn't matter because they go over everything, which, by the way, the class time, you will not pass the test if you just use the class time material. Yeah. Like, you need the actual handbook and just go on YouTube and look up combinations and all that.
It's just a memory thing. You're just talking about the being able to point out all the individual parts.
Well, no, like just the permit.
Oh, the permit process?
Yeah, like there are some questions that you do learn, but I don't think. I mean, it's such a broad amount of stuff that they go over in class that you're not going to remember enough to be able to pass a test.
Probably. Unless you're that guy.
Unless you have a photographic memory or something like that.
Yeah, actually, some people do.
They didn't even cover up everything.
Yeah.
That's on the test.
Yeah, I for the permit, I definitely would just recommend looking at I think it's the DOT, or it might be the department or just a DMV that has a CDL, it's just manual, and you can just go through. It's a PDF. You can obviously get it in paper too, but that's what I read that through, and then I looked at a YouTube video and just looked at the questions and answers.
Yes, I didn't go through it at all. I just looked at YouTube.
Yeah, but you should actually go through the manual. They have a lot of really informative stuff in there that goes way above and beyond. I mean, because if you just look at the questions and the answers, you'll be able to pass the test. But you're not gonna really understand.
I know all the information now, but like going through the school, like I made sure I learned a bunch of extra stuff that you don't need and like it's not required.
Right.
Like, but yeah, I just want to knock it out and get the permit and get driving as soon as possible.
Yeah.
So absolutely. I can get some time in.
Yeah, get some time, get that cash flow coming in.
Yeah. Yep.
But yeah. Have you been paying attention at all? This is just something that I haven't actually looked at it for a long time, but do you have any thoughts on like central bank digital currencies or anything like that? Have you looked into that at all?
Central bank
like going where the government wants to go digital?
It's terrible. Like it is. I would not trust the government with that at all.
Do we trust the government at all with anything?
It's getting to a point where, like, if you look at history, like, I heard this on a podcast. This guy was saying for every law that you put in place, you should get rid of two almost.
Yeah.
For
get
a
rid of
bit,
them laws.
because there's so many laws now. It ties your hands to do anything. Like you're in a very clogged system.
Right.
Like the system is not running efficiently.
Yeah.
Like I personally have kind of little hope for the U.S. in the long term. I think it'll last. It takes a while.
Mm-hmm.
Like
for an empire to fail.
Yeah, I mean Rome. It took a long time before the Byzantines. Like the Byzantines were the last remnants of Rome, even though Rome fell by the was it
the Goths?
No, it was the was it
Moths?
Mongols? I don't
know.
No, it wasn't the Mongols.
I mean, there were several. Yeah, there were some. The Goths is one of them. I think it.
The Goths. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was the Goths, but like
I mean, it just mainly fell apart from the inside out, and now it's not like the tribe, like, because as far as I know, and I'm not a history buff. Like I think history is cool, but as far as I know, it's mainly a lot of the corruption from the Roman Empire happened, and it allowed their society to collapse to the point where the Goths could come in and just kind of create anarchy within the system.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, and if you look at history, if you know history well, you can really see like obvious signs. Like the U.S. is like it rose really quickly, and it's kind of fallen pretty quickly. Like just the way like society is. I have hope personally. And it's kind of funny. It's the podcasting world. Like you have a lot more, like people. You got a lot of people listening to podcasts. I think that everyone should listen to podcasts almost. If you care, unless you don't care, like you're just like an artist, like don't really care what's going on in the world. I respect that.
Which part of my personality is like that, but then the other part is I do care. But it's kind of like I don't know. Sometimes it's like I heard this a long time ago, which I thought was cool, which is this, and I don't even remember who this. I should attribute this to, but he said he only pays attention to his circle of concern. So he said his circle of concern is anything that he can directly influence or impact, and anything outside of that. So that's one perspective. But then I'm a big picture person, so I do like to see, okay, like, yeah, I can go to work and influence my local, economy, meaning my bank account or friends and family, or even my local government, where I own a house, or et cetera. But
voting. Don't vote for the president. Vote for the people that are in your towns like those people matter more. It's from the bottom up, not the top down. And most people vote for the president. They don't vote for the mayor. They don't vote for governors and stuff like that. And those are actually more important. And I think there's a reason why, like, you don't hear the announcements to vote for your new mayor and stuff a lot of times. You see them.
You might get a letter in the mail or just an email or something from your.
Yeah, there's a reason for that. That because if everyone started voting locally, then it takes away the power from the people that are governors and all that. Like they get less criticism, they get less notice, and that's what they want. They just want the power without responsibility and to be able to do what they want. And like that is unfortunate. I think that I wonder if like the blockchain or something like that can help. Because that, to me, the blockchain is like the best way to go if you're wanting to do voting. Voting
on the blockchain would be terrific.
And like also use the way that they the way that they like randomized drug tests you get there's a system, have a computer. Humans do not have any control over it. And they literally they don't have any control over it. It's not hackable.
It would have to be something that's set up by programmers, and then it would have to be audited by multiple third parties to verify that there's no tampering or foul play within the system. And then once that's done, and maybe you actually audit it every year, or even every quarter, I don't know, but at that point, then you could have it to where it run real nicely.
I think that, I mean, it would be very interesting if there was a way to get like everybody that votes, like goes to the post office. It really needs to be a system that is in place at every post office to where they vote, they hand it in, and then they've got an electric one that they press the same vote to and look at the data at the end to be able to see is there any anything getting messed up?
Wait, explain this again. I'm not
it wouldn't work, I don't think, but
you're saying at the post office when they mail in a ballot? Is that what you're saying? Or what are you saying?
Well, the way you vote is you go to the last time I voted was actually a while ago, 8 years, but
so we're hypocrites.
For the presidency. I mean, I looked into it doesn't matter. It doesn't. I'm literally talking about voting and everything, but I've moved around a lot.
So
I'm not really familiar with the
local government.
I mean, anyways. But yeah.
No, I mean, to be fair, I voted for the last 2 times we had presidential elections, and this last time I did vote for some local officials, but before that, not really at all, to be honest. So I'm kind of right there. I'm a hypocrite, but I do see the need for it. And just because I'm a hypocrite doesn't mean it's not a valid concern that we should all be more involved.
For me, I felt like the way that it's all set up, it felt like my vote didn't matter in the presidency.
And maybe it didn't.
I probably, in my opinion, it didn't.
Just kidding.
But if you have enough people that, it actually probably did. Because you think about all the people that think that way, and then they don't vote, it actually does matter. So in a sense, it does, even though one person, it's 0.000 something %. But if you add that up by 1 million people, isn't it only 83 million people vote or something out of 360?
Well,
that's probably completely wrong.
No,
I don't know why that came to my mind.
Well, I heard that. I think it might have been 83, but I think I heard that it was 88 million votes Joe Biden got this last election. So that was just him, though. So it is probably, and I think Trump got below it. Well, obviously he got below that, but I don't know what his. Maybe he got 70 million, let's say. So what's that, 158 million or something people voted, but that's not even including the people that voted like independent or they wrote in something, but it's definitely not the whatever 330, 370, I think it's 370 I think right now, but people in America right now, I think roughly. It's always changing.
By the way, I've been paying attention to that whole voter fraud thing.
Have you?
Just out of curiosity, I'm of the opinion that it wouldn't have mattered. But definitely there was voter fraud. But I don't think it would have been enough to win the election.
To win the election, yeah.
But I mean, there always has been.
Well, there's always some amount of voter fraud.
I mean, there's people that registered a bunch of dead people and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Taking a bunch of people that voted Trump, voted for him, they literally threw the boxes out and stuff like that. A lot, more than one time, many times.
Right.
I mean, but.
Well, see, and that's why it would be so beautiful if we could have it on the blockchain and you could just log in with your phone, do it on the blockchain, and be done. You could actually have like a little NFT certificate of you, and then it goes on the blockchain. Yeah, something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, something to where I don't know how to do it because it would have to, because like facial recognition is going to be obsolete pretty soon.
What do you mean by that?
Meaning that it's going to be. You can basically make a person indistinguishable from the real person using AI.
You're saying via video.
Yeah, so you got to figure out some sort of authentic. You'd have to be. Well, pretty soon you're gonna have to be in person for a lot of stuff.
Well, I mean, there should be already a rec. I mean, so like right now, typically when you go to vote, you show your ID, your driver's license.
Yeah.
It could also be your passport. For people that don't have driver's license or passport, maybe it's just it's birth certificate. Maybe I would imagine.
I don't know. The way things are getting with technology is like really nerve-wracking.
Yeah. Well, and the sad part too is I feel like that the government is so slow to change because it's such a big bureaucracy. That they're always way behind on technology.
Yeah, they should not have a digital currency. Like it's a really dumb idea.
Well, that's the kind of thing where it is like in one way I'm like, oh, that's cool. Like you're actually making it to where you're moving up in technology. Because if we did have a digital currency, it'd make transfer of money a lot quicker,
faster. But then they have way more control.
And that's more what I'm worried about.
The same thing, like even the way that we handle money now with credit cards and everything, they can decide, or even your bank accounts.
Oh yeah, they can
shut them down, like they did in Canada. Like we literally have a dictatorship, pretty close to a dictatorship right next door. Like that is worrisome. Like that, like I see all the signs of like Nazi Germany happening, like. Close to us.
Well, it is a problem, I think, when they don't have.
That's a strong word, by the way, but I see correlations. If you, like, people think Nazi, like Germany, like is like the worst thing ever. Well, guess what? There's a reason why a lot of people fell for it.
Oh yeah.
And if you don't understand history, and you don't recognize how easy it is to fall into a trap like that, like. I mean,
you're doomed to repeat history.
Yeah, 100%. Because a lot of things sound like, especially when you're young, like I know it sounds crazy, but like now, but they're like, oh, we're the Aryan race. We're proud, we're special. And then,
like, are you saying Americans or
no, the Nazis?
Oh, back
Nazis.
They're
younger people,
blonde hair, blue eyes. Even though Hitler didn't have blonde hair.
Yeah, I think that actually kind of came later after they were doing a lot of scientific experiments. Not scientific experiments. They were not. No, what they were doing is they were testing all the different races and stuff. Like, not testing, like just keep documenting everything.
Like eugenic stuff.
Yeah. Somehow they came up with this blonde hair. It's probably some moron that's like, I just like blonde hair and blue eyes.
Probably. Well, and the thing is, like, the funny thing is like blue eyes, albeit I think blue eyes, great. I love the spectrum of all kinds of eyes, but
they have more issues.
They have more issues.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's because they're more susceptible to radiation from the sun.
Is it radiation or is it the light?
Yeah, because they don't have like
light is radiation.
No, I mean there's the
talking on my ass.
I mean I'm kind of talking on my ass too, but to be honest, like this is what this podcast is all about. Just us talking on our ass. No, but no, like from what I understand is like that because it's blue, so like it allows more light and radiation in. So where like I mean it's just like
I mean you think about sunglasses, they're dark, right? So the dark eyes filters the light more better or something like that.
Right.
I mean that's what I think of.
Exactly. That's exactly it. So like the darker I mean and maybe this is kind of wild and out of pocket, but like, I'm gonna just say this like if you look at the countries that have the warmest climates, typically there are darker.
Yep.
And the blue eyes are typically from like northern countries like Norway, right? Because they have almost no sun.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
so they're trying to take in more light.
You wouldn't want anyone in the snow though, like have generations that's going to be darker too.
You wouldn't say that again.
Anyone that lives in like Eskimos and all that, they're all dark eyed. I don't know. I'm pretty sure.
Really?
Yeah, because snow. Snow is really bright with the sun.
Yeah, but there's not as much sun. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, snow is white. I get it.
Most of them have dark eyes.
Yeah, well, how do you explain all the people most of the people in like Norway and like the Nordic countries, most of them a lot of them have blue eyes.
I think one of the reasons why blue eyes is actually prevalent is because like it was purposely like humans like kind of purposely integrate like had people get married like who had blue eyes because it's a recessive gene.
Right.
So they purposely wanted more people with blue eyes. So
You're saying people with blue eyes are more likely to pass on their genes?
No.
Because they're more attractive? Is that what you're doing?
No, I'm saying that the two people with blue eyes, like the community purposely had the people with blue eyes.
Because they want them to repopulate blue eyes?
Yeah.
But why would they want that? Because it's pretty.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm a moron. No.
Cheers.
The reason why I'm thinking of that is because like a lot of cultures did stuff like that. They you got the Spartans. They this is brutal, but they any sickly kid they would
which I agree with.
Horrible.
No, but I mean it is true though that now we're getting out of pocket here, but
I disagree with all of that.
I'm gonna continue on this out of pocket pathway here, but like you don't want people with a lot of health problems or people that are gonna have a hard time surviving in an environment to pass on their
well, okay.
That's rough. But I think it's kind of true.
I disagree. There's a lot of examples where, there's people that have some issues and then they have perfectly healthy children.
I'm not questioning that. I'm just saying that okay. Look, dad... nature always selects for the strongest. Yeah. Is that not true? Because if you're a gazelle and you can run faster than all the other gazelle, you don't get caught by the cheetah.
Not necessarily. Humans have separated in that case because
we've opted out of nature a little bit.
We have opted out of nature.
But even if you look at it though, it's interesting. Okay, so you look at antibiotics, right? Mm-hmm. Right. We created antibiotics and we said, nature's going to sit there and try to take down the weakest among us. Mm-hmm. Nay. We're going to prevent that, right? So when you're weak, we're not going to allow nature to take you out. We're going to give you antibiotics. We're going to cure that, right? We're going to fix that. But now what we have problems with is overuse of antibiotics
Yep.
And now we're creating super viruses and super bugs that are stronger, and then that's when you start having pandemics, and then you have wiping out of large swaths of the population. So it's like I could actually, and I'm not saying this is a good position, but I could actually argue that antibiotics are not good from that standpoint because if you just allow the viruses and bacteria to kill off the weak, then the healthy stay strong and the herd keeps its strength and it passes on the genes that are stronger, and you don't mutate the viruses and the bacteria.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing though. So when you have the people that survived the Black Plague, stuff like that, you don't want a Black Plague. Like there was like.
I'm not saying you want it on an individual level.
It doesn't.
It benefits the whole though.
You can have some that are so devastating, like it doesn't matter. Like there might be, like there's some that are so devastating that everyone will die. You know, like
no.
Yeah.
No, because if that was the case, then we would already all be dead.
I mean, I mean, especially in the labs and stuff, like they have diseases that have like a 99% kill rate.
Yeah, in labs, but are those natural? Are those natural?
No, but
right. That's what I'm saying. That's a little bit of a tangential point, then, though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about just natural. I'm not talking about Wuhan lab or Wuhan lab.
Now we're gonna get
virology. We're not talking about. We're gonna get canceled up in here. What's gonna happen? We can go down the virus path, but I'm not even gonna say the word.
Yeah.
Probably okay too, but.
I don't think. Yeah.
Anyways. But I think there is a reason why. I mean, survival of the fittest. I do still. I mean, if you think about it, if you have somebody that's if you have two people, and one is incredibly intelligent and one is not as intelligent, and they're both put in a given environment, most of the time, the person that is all other factors being even or equal, let's actually not apply this to people, but let's apply this to gazelles, right? If you have two gazelles and one knows all the watering holes and is the fastest and the strongest, right? If you allow all the weak members of the gazelle herd to survive, there's going to be there's going to be some gazelle with bad genetics that breed and they have perfectly healthy offspring, but there's going to be a percentage of those that also have that weak genetic trait, and then it's going to start infecting the herd to where most of the herd now has this weak genetic trait, right? You don't want to select for weak genetics. You want to select for strong genetics, according to the environment which the gazelle's in, which would be like speed and strength, right?
Luckily, we're humans and we don't have to. I mean,
yeah, we do. We're still there.
Well, yeah, but there's also. I mean, they're like now they've got you can like literally change if there's like a
CRISPR.
Well, it's not necessarily CRISPR. Like you can like edit, like if there's like a disease that runs in the family, like you can take, like it's getting to a point where you can take that out. But what are the other ramifications that you don't know that you're doing?
Right, that's kind of your playing God at that point. Yeah. You're going in, but like I mean, there's I think there's a reason the reason why we find people that have very symmetrical faces beautiful is it's not just because obviously they're beautiful, quote unquote, we find that attractive just inherently according to our genetics, but it's also because symmetry is it's very strongly correlated to strong, healthy genetics.
Yeah.
Right?
I also think like one of the reasons why there is a lot of genetic issue is because like cultures, like they tend to want to have like their generations want to have interculture, like in their culture, like when they find a partner or whatever.
right, they want to stay within the family or whatever.
Yeah,
interbreeding.
I've noticed it. The people that like they go to different cultures, like they end up having the most beautiful kids.
Well, yeah, definitely.
So I think a lot of the problems. I mean,
well, I mean, you just look at like the Rothschild family. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you've ever heard of this, but like a lot of the Rothschilds, one of the wealthiest families. Mm-hmm. They, for a period of time, I don't know if it was like I think it was like the later 1800s, they were interbreeding within their family to keep the wealth within the family. And they ended up with weird looking individuals, like very asymmetric individuals.
Poor people.
Yeah, so and low intelligence levels. Yeah. With some of them.
So what they were trying to do was save, keep the wealth in the family, but they ended up destroying all their wealth because.
Yeah, I mean, at least their health.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, but I do find like
it's funny how much people love money and power. Like that's their goal. They like to have control and power. Like I know that it's out there, but it's really hard to grasp. Like for me to think about or grasp. Why would someone really just want that?
Well, not bad. Yeah. I think it's a problem when people just want that, when they just choose to follow that path of wealth and power.
I mean, that is all about.
But we all want a degree of wealth and power.
But not to exploit other people with it.
No.
There's people out there that literally.
That's what they want to do.
It's not even necessarily they want to do. They will do that to go in the direction where they want to go. They'll use it as a means and a justification because they have this reasoning in their head. Yeah.
Well, let's look at it this way. If you're in a video game, right? Mm-hmm. What are you trying to do in the video game? Like, say it's Elden Ring.
Try to get to be the most powerful and get all the gear and everything.
Right. You're trying to level up. Why are you trying to level up? I would argue that it just comes from more options.
Yeah.
Right? And then more ability to shape your environment.
Yeah.
And move within your environment quickly.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
I think that's good. I think it's also very tight. Excuse me. It's also very much tied also to mating in a weird way.
If there's a podcast I was listening to, it was evolutionary psychology.
Okay.
And it was talking about it's pretty crazy. You could after listening to the podcast, I started just listing off people that I've had. I could see it women and men mainly it's more prevalent when you're in high school or whatever. You can kind of see the social dynamics and it was all about, a lot of it is all about resources. People think that they have a higher standard, but for me it if I was to have want a long-term relationship with a woman, it would be I would want her to have a certain level of maturity and things where she's got in life, not because I care about her material things. It just shows that is able to take care of herself, you know.
Yeah. Why is that important?
Why is that important?
Yeah.
Because then it's not she needs me for my resources. It's a mutual beneficial relationship where we are interested in each other as a partner, not because of not material things.
Right.
And I don't want to be in a relationship where it depends on. It's not I wouldn't, but I would have to be 100% sure that this person really. That everyone falls in rough times, but a lot of times I've seen it where it's you got this dynamic where it could be a man or a female that really just needs the other person,
right?
And
it's not necessarily they're not in love with that person specifically for just the personality and how they interact. It's more of like financial support or otherwise. I think
there's resentment on both sides. They resent having like needing them, and then the other person resents them for needing them.
Right. If they see through, if they're actually aware enough to see that.
But then also I've seen it where it does work. But both of those people are insecure.
Yeah.
Both of those. Yes. Like if you have usually. And there are sometimes relationships where one is secure and the other one's insecure, and maybe that person can handle it or not.
And they're just at that level, the same level together.
Well, or one person isn't and the other one is, and is able to get to that point where, or be at a good place and work through that with this other person, and then that person can grow or whatever like that. But I think that's actually rare.
Right.
Like more rare.
Right.
Not unheard of.
Right. Yeah, I think so. My kind of listening to what you were saying, my interpretation of what you were saying is like basically, you're the reason why you're looking for a woman that can provide for herself and you don't have to step in and provide is not because you're not willing to step in and provide. It's because you're looking at that as a signal of authenticity that you actually care about me for me, not for what I can give you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and
that's big.
Like, I'm the type of person who want to give them everything.
Right. Yeah.
But that means that they're a competent person and they're an adult and they can take care of themselves.
Yeah.
And I think that is attractive. And I like.
Well, because you're competent.
Yeah.
You feel like, hey, you want a teammate, not a dynamic where you're always leading or showing them how to do things, and they can't show you or teach you anything. You're just teaching them things.
Yeah, I don't know. I have seen things where one person is more mature.
Invariably, that's
and the one person is wanting to grow and is willing to grow and is working on themselves, actively doing that.
Yep.
I think that can work. But if one is just letting the other person not do anything, they don't. It's messy.
Yeah, I think it's probably all comes down to taste and preference too.
Some people are fine with it, maybe, but I just don't see how that can be a.
I think when you're teammates and you're both competent, maybe in different areas, because I don't think it's ever going to be no two people are going to be competent in all the same areas. Probably. That seems unlikely. Mm-hmm. So it's like, but I feel like when both people are very competent in other areas, in other areas, then they can kind of come together and teach each other things, and I think it leads to a more stable relationship long term. That would be my theory on it.
My brain goes to, there's always going to be people that have, there's always going to be people that are good at, let's say, basketball or something like that, they're genetically just really, really
gifted.
Good.
LeBron James.
Yeah. But I think that, you can get good at a lot of things.
Yeah, but you can't be LeBron James.
No. No, I cannot be LeBron James. But that's an extreme example. But there's a lot of skills that you can have, develop. And the funny thing is, the more things that you learn how to do, the faster you're able to learn. Because you there are so many correlations between different skills that you end up learning more and becoming better and better. Trucking school honestly shocked me because I did not expect to do super well.
Yeah.
I expected to pass this fine. I was confident going in.
Right.
But everything was I picked everything up super quick.
Yeah, that feels good.
Because in equipment, I ran so many different types of machines.
Yeah.
And there's machines I didn't like, but because it's uncomfortable,
not intuitive.
It's not intuitive. It doesn't feel natural.
Yeah.
but then you just trust the process, and then after a while, it feels natural because I mean that's what the machine is gonna do. The machine's gonna do what it's gonna do.
Right.
And you have to learn the machine.
You're gonna adapt.
You don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's heavy equipment operating and all that.
Yeah.
It's pretty interesting.
It is.
Now I want to fly airplanes.
Yeah. No, he's like after he got his CDL, he's like I gotta be a pilot.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. I just like honestly, I'm addicted to like. Learning and I want all the certificates, man.
Yeah.
Like I want to. There's this guy. He's like this nature dude that has like a bunch of degrees and stuff, and he kept on going to school, and he just became way too overqualified. And got a job making an absurd amount of money.
Nice.
Nice.
So yeah, that's cool. Yeah, it is. I think as humans, part of what brings us joy is progressing, and if we don't have that, then there's part of it is there's part of the happiness of humans that's missing.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But.
Heck yeah. Yeah. Well, it's getting a little bit late, I think. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just talking like an Irish, not Irish.
I don't know what that accent was.
I don't know. It was a non-existent accent.
So yeah, it's a certain small, slight dialect.
Yes, my own created one.
All right. Well, yeah. I guess we'll wrap it up for today, and we'll keep on going. I hope you guys enjoy the slightly better audio and lighting, and we'll continue to step it up as we go along. So
catch y'all next week. Peace. There we go. Now it's